For today's short meditation, let us turn our pages to Psalms 91 verses 1 to 8. As we live in this world, have you ever wondered what is the safest place in this whole world? We see here in Psalms 91, it says the safest place is in the shadow. It's in the shelter of the Most High. According to Psalms 91, the safest place in the world is the shelter under the Most High, or in some version it says shadow. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And in verse 4, he continues to say, He shall cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. As we see in this Psalms, in verse 1 and verse 4, where the psalmist is saying, He covers in his feathers, under his wings. In the shadow of the Almighty is the safest place, according to the psalmist. Here we see the psalmist refers to the Holy of Holies in the tabernacle and in the temple. The Holies of the Holies, the two cherubims were over the mercy seat. And when the Holies of Holies are there near the Ark of Covenant, they touch their wings together. And under his wings means that at the mercy seat, where the blood was sprinkled, there in the presence of the glory of God is the safest place. Here the Holy of Holies was God's throne. Here it's the one time where the priest goes in to cleanse by sprinkling the blood on the Ark of the Covenant. And it was the place of God's glory. In other words, we see that it is the safest place in the world, is the fellowship in God. Right now, we may not have the Ark of the Covenant in the tabernacle, but today, the safest place is being in fellowship with God. It's not just visiting the holy places as the high priest did once in a year, but it is the dwelling that is needed to be with God. And the psalmist is urging us to live in the Holy of Holies, where it is the safest place to be in this world. In the New Testament, we see in Hebrews 10, it talks about Christ's sacrifice once for all. And in Hebrews 10, we see there is an open invitation for everyone to come right into the presence of God and to dwell in the secret place that is under his wings, at the mercy seat. This is where God meets with us, and where his glory is revealed, and where he gives us his guidance and shows us his will. And when the shadow which belongs to the Almighty is the greatest protection that we can get. We have to live in this Holy of Holies under the shadow of the Almighty by having a good fellowship in him, and every day in prayer and in our supplication and in everything, in being closer to God. Right now we may not have the real tabernacle, the real Ark of Covenant, or the real holiest place, but we see it is in our hearts. We get to meet this place. We get into this Holy of Holies in fellowship with God, in our day-to-day prayer with him. And without breaking this fellowship is where we get this stronghold of the safest place that we can live in this world. Here we see how God invites us to have the fellowship with him and to live in the Holy of Holies. And this is the place where we receive the mercy, guidance, and protection. Let us try to examine ourselves, and let us try to put this question before us. Are we safe each and every day? Do we live under God's shadow, or are we living under this world's desires? And there is a difference. When we are in God's shadow, we are being protected. But when we are in these worldly things, we are being destroyed. We come across a lot of calamities in our life. So as the psalmist encourages us to dwell in his place, to dwell with God, to have this fellowship, and in Hebrews we see there is an open invitation where God urges us to have a fellowship with him. So let us try to be hunger to dwell in the shadow of God, not in our selfish desires. Amen.